Hey guys, good morning, welcome to another live stream here with me, Jose Najarro. Like always, we'll take a quick look at what's happening in the market. If you guys want to take a look at any stocks, feel free to post them on the comments. Hope everybody's having a good day. Let's see what's happening, but give me one quick second to set everything up. I am running a bit behind, so hopefully everybody's having a good day. I know we have some new market information out today that we can probably take a look at. I haven't really seen how the market has reacted to it. I know it was a bit down when I was looking at it, but okay, we'll look at it in a bit. But hope everybody's doing good. Let me just finish setting everything up. Open up stock twits. Open up earnings whisper. All right, I think we should be good. All right, so first I just want to take a quick look at what earnings we had today. So today we had some big banks. Before opening, we had JP Morgan, right? We had Goldman Sachs. So let's take a look at StockTwits, see if anything is trending right now. Nokia, not sure why, it's up 8%. I didn't even know it was down this much. It's in the $5. That's crazy. So Nokia's there. JPM. What's going on, Elias? How's it going? Oh, actually, let me post that I am on the Discord channel. Give me one quick second, guys. And how's it going, Elias? Everything good with you? Let me find this Inception right here. All right, and let me just get on my Discord channel. Live streaming. Those that want to join. And for those that don't have, I always forget to do this. Let me put the Discord channel up in the let me just message CPA data tanking stocks. I mean, I took a quick look at it. It didn't seem that bad. I mean, most of the CPI data was coming from, let's go to CNBC, and I just posted the overall. I just posted the Discord channel. Stocks are flat near records as investors weigh hot inflation report and strong earnings. All right, let's take a quick look at Finviz. At first, right now it's more stabilized. It does seem a lot more stabilized. Dow is down about 0.3%. That's pretty much flat. Anything be less than 0.5 up or down, I want to consider flat. Yeah, SB, but if you looked at the numbers, it was I think it was being driven by two major factors. It was hotel lodging and stuff like that. We can take a look. Hotel lodging was like a huge growth, and then it was again used vehicles. So it was big changes, but most of the big change came from like a very bit from like a few of the came from, I think, two main markets. It was the used cars, like Elias is mentioning, and the other one was, I think, lodging. And not rental, not your normal lodging, not, for example, regular renting. It's more just hotels and outdoor stuff. Let the day play out. I'm not optimistic about it. Yeah, so that's, I mean, right now, SB, those are the ones that are going to be the most inflated, I think, for a long time right now. Huge demand, right? Unfortunately, the chip shortage is hurting a lot of companies, right? Ford is not able to, for Q2, they were expected to make 50% less vehicles. I know, I think Porsche came out, was it Porsche or some other big, a really big company also said that they were seeing about 50% less production. So people are out there buying used vehicles instead, which has the vehicle inflation a lot higher. So it makes sense that those, like, for example, used vehicles was inflated last month. It's also inflated this month. I'm going to expect it to be inflated for at least a few more months, just because of the huge chip shortage that's hitting the automobile industry. So that's what I'm kind of interesting to see how Ford and some of these other big automobiles do this earnings and what they forecast for the upcoming earnings. Elias, you built a short position. Oh, what's going on, Pilot Poncho? How's it going? I feel like I haven't seen you in a bit, Pilot. Hope everything's good. Hope the family's good. Hope the portfolio is good too. I know you still have a nice amount of cash out there. I'm wondering if you put up any into the market recently. Just out of curiosity. And Elias, you built a short position on SPY recently, half calls and half shares on SPY Bear as hedge, but correction is more likely than crash. 0.3 of my portfolio, but I'm not sure what I'm doing. Okay, so you built a short position on SPYs recently. So did you sell calls? Because you said half calls and half shares. So did you sell calls and did you short some shares on SPY? But let's see. SB, why Baba moving today? China stocks up for some reason. Well, SB, one thing we saw earlier last week was the Chinese government was easing on their bank restrictions, and they're gonna be kind of, I wouldn't say pumping, but a lot more money going into the market. Hey Jose, after a long time, how are you doing? What's going on, Anand? Anand, I'm doing good, man. How are you? Appreciate the support from SB and Anand. It's pretty cool to see 2 badges back to back. I thank you guys for the support. It really means a lot. Hope you guys are doing good. So DD is also up. Let's take a quick look. So first, right now we have Dow is down about 0.1%. We have Nasdaq up 0.13%. We have the S&P 500 up 0.04%. So pretty flat market in both regards. If we take a quick look at screeners, what is happening right now? Oh, you did on the 3x on the leverage. Yep. I forget which one it is. I did on 3x bear lev SPY call and shares and call, but it works as put in SPY. Yep. I'm familiar with that one. But let's see. I wanted to take a quick look at the maps. This is about a 15-minute delay, so it might be a bit laggy right now. But we can see Microsoft was up, Apple was up. We have big techs, the big 4 big techs are up. Microsoft, Apple, Google, and Amazon are up about, not much, but they're at least in the green. Facebook is down, probably one of the big boys that is down right now. Tesla is down. Nvidia is down again, about 1%. Still over that 800 price dollars. Let's take a quick look at TradingView. I want to take a look at my portfolio. So let's see. Good morning. What's going on, Frankie? Good morning, Jose. So you averaged down on Patra. I remember you said you bought in the 18s, and do you think Patra could keep going down more? So Frankie, yeah, I do have Proterra. I don't know why I was saying Pitra. Proterra. I haven't averaged down yet. I kind of do my thinking of what stocks I'm going to buy on. So I just did my video on Saturday of the 4 stocks I'm planning on buying this week. So normally I don't deviate from those 4 lists. SQQ, there we go. That's it. That's the one I forgot about. Frankie, I don't deviate from that list. So when maybe this upcoming Thursday, Frankie, I'll start looking at doing a video on Proterra and see if that would make my list for this upcoming Saturday. But at the moment, I haven't. Obviously, with volatility, the stock can keep going down, especially in the short term, right? We're down another 5%. I think yesterday it was down 8%. So we can see a few players are definitely down right now. Pilot Poncho, driving my motorhome across Sweden for summer holidays. That sounds pretty cool. Listening while I drive. I'm still holding 50% cash. Interested in boosters needed for COVID. Moderna solves that. CRISPR Tech. Oh, Pilot, man. I don't know if you... Obviously, Pilot, don't text and drive. Just listen. Feel free to respond to me on the comment later on. But I gotta definitely pick up that book, Pilot, that you keep talking about. A few days ago, I started doing research on like QSI. A QSI, you probably heard of that one. And I felt like maybe if I read that book you recommended to me, I would have had a little bit more information on it. So maybe I might pass down. I might tell the wife we should go to Barnes and Noble or at least the library to see if I can pick it up. But Elias Jr., I feel that tech can still run, but reopening got too hype. Not sure SPY can fall with tech strong. And that's the crazy thing, right, about Elias, is one sector could fall while another one rises, and the S&P 500 can still do amazing. So I think that's why I think for such or for most investors, like something like an index fund is super strong. So guys, let's see what else we're talking here. Pilot, if that's approved, it will be very bullish. Keeping my eyes on SQQ. Honestly, South African rioting, so profited off currency. Oh yes, I saw that happening. Anan, when is Nvidia split happening? Let's take a quick look at when that split is happening. I think it was July 17th. July 12th. It's gonna happen on July 12th, and it's so weird the way they worded they worded their press release. But obviously, you can buy Nvidia any day before the release and still get your shares. Some people were kind of worried about that because of the way they had worded their press release. They gave like a dividend date style, but they didn't give a close to that dividend date style. So July 20th is when this company, not 12th, 20th. July 20th is when Nvidia is gonna do the 4-to-1 split. That's pretty insane, right? I mean, I can't believe this is one. Oh, sorry, did I say July 12th? My apologies. I meant July 20th. I was even reading it, which I was pretty weird if I did say July 12th. So my apologies, guys. SB, don't hurt me. So good morning, Lisa. How's it going? You, SB, let's see. You know about GOEV? Can you take a look? Go. Let's take a quick look. I want to keep looking at my market real quick. So Canoo is a startup manufacturing of electric vehicles. The company plans to sell a minivan in the year of 2022. All right. So all right, we'll take a look at this one, SB, in a bit. My bad. But it sounds interesting. I already have some thoughts on it. But let me take a quick look at my portfolio. My biggest right now down is Proterra. This one's down a nice amount. It's had a crazy day for sure. The past 3 days are looking a bit bad. Mogo is another one. Most of these are very small positions, so I don't really care about them too much. The only one that I see here, Redfin, is down. I'm actually happy Redfin. Good morning, Polly. How's it going? And Lisa, you're watching while I work. Hopefully you don't get in trouble. But appreciate the support and appreciate the comments. So good morning, Polly. Hope you are doing good. Redfin, I'm happy. I wish it keeps going down, right? This is one of the stocks I'm planning on buying this Thursday. So Redfin, I'm happy, is a bit down right now. Skills is also down. What else do we have? Anything major? DraftKings, Ark just recently bought some more DraftKings yesterday. I was thinking of maybe just doing a quick video on that. Unity, Unity's down about 1%, but still over $100. I'm super excited. Tesla is another one. I don't mind it keep being red. Let's see, anything green. AMD is pretty much flat, still in the 90s. Melly is pretty much flat, down 0.04%. What do we have up? JD, oh, so like you guys mentioned, who was it? I think SB. We have a lot of Chinese stocks up the past few days. Today is up 3%. It's up 3.5. We have Tencent, for example, up 3.64. I think Tencent was. I want to get in on the U train. The U train is one of my favorite trains right now. But I do think that one's going to be super volatile. I'm happy Tencent is also up. We saw, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy the amount of correction it's seen. Hopefully that correction on some of the big ones is done, though. We have Tattoo Chef is up as well. Apps is up again. Damn, I wish Apps was stayed at this levels for at least one more week. That's the one I'm thinking about getting maybe next week. But we see, I actually have a lot of my big players green right now, so my portfolio might be somewhat flat. So that's looking pretty good. How are you guys doing in form of your portfolios? Is it doing okay? Is it red right now? All right, so next let's take a quick look at SB. SB, he wanted to take a quick look at Canoo Inc. I want to see the vehicles that they have, but it seems to be a startup electric vehicle company. They sell a van and pickup trucks, which seems pretty interesting, right? I mean, this, not gonna lie, this kind of looks like futuristic style, like things you see in the things you see down less than 1%. So that's a positive. LOL. Agree, David. What's going on, David? How's it going? I don't think I said hi to you, but David, I agree. I even small, less than 1% down, I always consider a positive. Unless I'm down like 2.5 or 3%, it might start a little obviously not scared, but just like, damn, it sucks. But first thing I want to say, this vehicle is not expected to be released until 2022. So this is a company, and I'm pretty sure we're going to look at it in fundamentals, is pretty pre-revenue. It's a pre-revenue company. Normally, SB companies like this, I would automatically put them in what I call my speculative plays. Speculative plays aren't bad. It just means that there is a little bit more risk because they're still very early in the market. It looked like this might have been a pre-SPAC because I see it sitting around $10 for a nice portion of time. So it looks like it was a pre-SPAC. It's definitely taken a huge beating from its 52-week high. It's down about 60%. That is insane. And if we take a look at the market, I want to say right now, it's nowhere near overextended, right? Not overextended. So I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. Let's see if we have any information in Simply Wall Street. And we see what's going on, Luis or Luis. Not sure whichever Luis or Luis. I'll talk about your question for Disney. Give me one quick second. But anyways, we can see super small market cap, $2.2 billion. Future growth, obviously they're expected to grow their revenues at crazy levels because they're still pre-revenue, right? They haven't, in March 30th of 2021, this might have been their SPAC information, so that's not really viable. But they're not expected to grow in revenue strong until about 2022. So definitely a very, very early stage company. Financial health, I'm pretty sure their financial health might be a little bit stronger, but they say they have $641 million in cash and short-term investments and about $6 million in debt. So fundamentally, SB, they look good, right? Fundamentally, they look good. But this is a company that's going to be burning a lot of cash. So this is something that a company you're going to expect a lot of dilution, selling of shares, or doing other offerings in the future as well. Again, this is still very pre-revenue. So even if they have cool tech, right? I mean, I think sometimes companies have cool techs, but if they still haven't yet to sell anything, I still would put them in a speculative play. So that'll be like a small position for me. But overall, if I was bullish in the EV market and maybe wanted to increase some exposure, maybe this one would be one I would look a little bit in. So Luis, I had Disney for a while and I'm considering buying more. Oh, nice, Luis. Disney is probably one of my most boring. How do you see it as a SPAC play in the future? Well, I mean, it's already done. It's already done the SPAC, right? It's already so it's not considered a SPAC anymore, right? It's just it seems like the merger happened. It's already known as Canoo. It's back to Canoo Inc. So how do you see it as a SPAC play? I don't. I mean, it's more of just now it's a business. I wouldn't even think of it as a SPAC anymore, right? SB, now it's a business. So it's like, hey, do I enjoy the business? Do I enjoy the business, the market? But regardless, it's still, like I mentioned, very early in revenue. That doesn't mean it's bad investments, right? I for example, have Space. Space has probably been one of my biggest winners in form of percentage wise, and it's still pre-revenue. So some of these times, you just have to understand that, hey, they're still very early on in the business, and because they're very early on, they have a higher risk of failing, and because of the competition in the market. So Luis, you had Disney for a while and you're considering buying more. Disney is definitely in my portfolio. It's actually also in my wife's portfolio. It's one she enjoys a lot. I think Disney, it just has so much going to it. I mean, we just saw Black Widow, right? It was one of the best movies grossing out in the past year or so. It did amazing in movie theaters and it did amazing on Disney Plus. So Disney, what was it? Black Widow, right? I think revenue in the first weekend. So yeah, it reported it did. This is insane. Look, it reported that Black Widow had earned 60 million just on Disney Plus. That's on Disney Plus alone, worldwide. In addition to the 158 million it earned in at the global box office. I think it's insane. But I remember at the same time, I don't know. I actually am surprised, Marcus. It did so well. I don't know why. It just didn't grab. I don't know if I'm just not. I'm getting more of Marvel overload or saturated, where hero movies are just no longer my thing. But I mean, tell me anything about Star Wars and I'll watch it any day. But I'm not a huge fan right now of so many superhero movies. I think it's just overload for me. So I was surprised it actually did that well. At the same time, we have to remember, right? Movies is such a small portion of Disney's revenue. Let's take a look at Disney's revenue breakdown of 2019. And this is pretty interesting. So Disney's revenue in 2019, let's see. The total company for 2019, advertisement is about 11% of their revenue. Affiliate fees is about 26%. That's actually pretty impressive. Home entertainment is about 2.9. Parks and resorts are about 28.7. And that's domestic. International is about 3.3. Media network is about 12.5. Studio entertainment is about 10.7. And theatrical distribution is about 4.1. So movies isn't a huge impact for Disney. The biggest impact there is obviously the parks and resorts and the affiliate fees. I'm guessing this is when they kind of license off their users. And let me zoom in. Maybe you guys couldn't see that. Let me zoom in for you guys a little bit better. So here it is. So even though this movie did great, I mean, I think it's investors might be getting a little bit too excited on the stock price right now, because at the end of the day, it's not really making big moves for their revenue. At the same time, it does show how strong Disney platform is. So Disney Plus, I think, is going to do strong, and I do think if they keep coming out with some great content, it's definitely gonna be there right behind Netflix in form of content creation. So Elias, it's the kind of movie that's a hit, that hit the masses, action and more action. That's pretty cool. Fabio, I agree, Elias Jr., but if the masses want it, we can't do more than just provide it. That's true, right? If that's what the masses want, Fabio, that's the way business works. If customers want it, customers get it. For sure, being a Disney shirt, I'm all for it. Yeah, so Disney is one that I don't plan on selling anytime soon. I have it in my portfolio. At the moment, I'm happy with my position. I'm going to say maybe it's about 2%, 2 or 3% of my portfolio. I'm happy there. I don't think I want to buy right now, especially the stock is, I want to say, a bit overextended. I did a video on it a few weeks ago. I think I might have purchased it then. But I don't think I have now. I wouldn't right now, just because of a little bit of that overextension. There might be better buys in the market for me. So this made more money from the extra $30 to watch on Disney than they did on the movie theaters. And that's what I was about to say, David Becker. Good point. You kind of reminded me about that. Right, if in the movie theaters, they have to pay the movie theaters and stuff like that. They have to share revenue. In Disney Plus, right, that's almost great margins for them. They own everything there, so I think Disney has really sealed the fate for movie theaters. If they can really just show that they're just doing amazing without them. Let's see, is there any stocks you guys want to take a look at? Stocks are flat near records, as straight to the bottom line for them. Agree. What do you think about Roblox? How much potential do you see it go? Or have I missed the train already? So SB, I feel like that's a question so many people ask, and it's the wrong. There's always a train. Fabio, we'll take a look at NNDM. I think you mentioned it. Hey Jose, what's going on, Fabio? Hey guys, can you check the cash position for NNDM? For sure, we'll take a look at NNDM. Let me take a look at SBs first, Fabio, and then we'll do NNDM. So Roblox, SB, I want to say, so many people always have that question. Have I missed the train? I want to say you might have missed the first train, right? It might not ever drop down to those values, but companies, if they're continuing to innovate, if they continue to grow, there's plenty of trains left. I mean, Amazon is a perfect example, right? If we take a look in just the time frame, like you might have said you missed the boat here, you probably missed the train here, you missed the train here, you could have missed the train here, but even if you bought this train, you're still up so much. So I think that's a fearful thing to say. It kind of puts you in a box. So missing trains isn't a bad thing, especially if the company is still innovating, because there's still plenty and plenty of trains that are in the that are expected to leave. I mean, even here, right? Just a few months ago, even after a big drop increase, there's still a train that can give you some amazing gains. So yes, you might have missed this train right now, the recent train. But I don't think Roblox is out and it's done, right? I mean, Roblox is innovating. They've right now, I want to say the stock is not overextended, so a good portion of the risk, in my opinion, has been eliminated. Obviously, Roblox, if we take a quick look at their fundamentals, I like them a lot. I like Roblox so much because they're expected to grow at strong levels. They also have super positive in cash flow from operations. I want to say one of the biggest risks for Roblox is going to be this upcoming earnings. I think investors are going to see, if they see a decrease in monthly active users, or any other metrics right now, because we had such a strong past year, excuse me, because we had such a strong past years, investors might get a little bit fearful and it might start off a sell-off. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed. I just see it's definitely a possibility. And again, a risk, right? Risk is not a guarantee. It's just a percentage of something happening. And I believe that's probably one of the highest risk for Roblox right now, is seeing a decrease in monthly active users and seeing how investors kind of react to it. If we take a look, they financially have strong health, right? They have $1.6 billion in cash, no debt to their name. They're also making smart moves, right? Roblox, the Netflix made a game on their Roblox platform. I think that's something we are gonna start seeing more often. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 6 months we see Disney, for example, make a superhero Roblox game, or we see maybe some of these Crunchyrolls or anime or other a Fast and the Furious game on Roblox. A Jurassic Park game on Roblox. The platform is already there, and it's I wouldn't say it's super easy, but it's easier than creating your own game. So I think Roblox has become this great marketplace, and the more I talk about it, the more I think I should add it to my portfolio. But I feel it becoming like a marketplace of games, where a lot of these big companies, instead of making their own individual games, they just come to Roblox and really build it, and then that's going to drive more users to Roblox. And they kind of made partnerships with Nerf, right? I mean, Nerf guns, they made partnerships there. Nerf blasters, I think I have to say. I don't think I can say the other word. But Nerf blasters. So Roblox, definitely early stages in its business. I'm really happy. I want to say, would I buy it at these prices? I probably would, but I would open up with small position and dollar cost average over time. There's certain stocks where I wouldn't mind going in pretty heavy at once. Roblox, I think it's going to be very volatile. And here in the United States, with free trading and commission-free investing in fractional trades, Roblox is one I wouldn't mind adding in over time, just because of the volatility that comes with this stock. Presley, what's going on? Good morning, and we got Peter. So Peter wants to take a look at LTCH. We'll take a look at that. But first, Fabio, we're going to look at your NNDM. And Elias, I feel that we'll consolidate for a while, but if fall to 150, then gotta load the boat. Which one, Elias, do you think would fall to 150? Oh, I'm pretty sure you're talking about Disney. Right, Elias, was that Disney? And I agree with you, right? I do think it might consolidate for a while. I think at those prices, I wouldn't mind adding on to Disney as well, around 150. So Fabio will take a look at it. But Presley, let's take a look. Good morning, Jose. Thoughts on AbbVie stock? Thinking about starting a position on it. Presley, we'll take a quick look. We'll look at Fabio's first. Fabio is curious on Roblox as well, because he does have a position. David Rebecca, Roblox, I have way too high, but I so think this is going to bounce back. Major great ideas and things they are doing. Agree, David. I mean, Roblox, it's one I'm falling more into. I'm really enjoying the overall business, and sometimes it takes time for me to do it, right? I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Tim is here. Tim has been talking about Roblox since like the 60s, the 70s, and that's okay, right? Sometimes I need to build up my own conviction in the stock and really kind of try to see where the company is going, what kind of since then, right, they kind of had the Netflix game, they had the other partnerships that have really opened my eyes at where Roblox can go. What's going on, Q? How's it going? Elias, how about Curry, Jose? Have you built your position? The price is in my average. I don't know if I've had a position. I honestly don't know where my buy point is. I'll probably have to take a quick look at my portfolio in a bit. This is a stock I don't mind, and I also don't mind waiting. It's such a small position in my portfolio that I could wait off for a bit and build up on some bigger gains or some bigger conviction stocks. Fury still in my portfolio. I haven't really bought any for some time, but I haven't sold, Elias. Q, what's going on? Good morning. SB, got it. Awesome. Just added 1,000 based on your information. Thanks. Love the stream. Keep doing it. And SB, right? It shouldn't just be based on my information, right? That's not what this channel is about. I just share my overall thoughts. Obviously, remember, I could be 100% wrong. Hey, with record heat numbers, what do you think of AC stocks like Carrier, Ticker, Car? Greystone, we can take a look at that. That's actually pretty interesting. Another one, Greystone, that you actually reminded me of. I used to have a coworker, and one stock he always used to talk about was Generac, right? I'm guessing, I believe with high heat, you also get a high amount of blackouts, right? I would expect a high amount of blackouts, due to everybody kind of using ACs. So um, Generac is maybe another one we should probably look at, right, Greystone? Especially with a lot of storms coming in. Oh, nice, SB. Yeah, again, not, I wasn't. I was just trying to make an overall point as well. The worst thing I want is someone just buying a stock because I said it looks pretty cool, right? I mean, obviously none of this is advice. It's just pretty much my own opinion, and I enjoy that, right, SB? That you go and do your own research, and then just looking for a second set of eyes. Um, Give me 1 second, guys. My wife just texted me. She says, "Give me." All right, so let's take a look at NNDM. This is Nano Dimension. I don't know if you guys have heard of NNDM, but this one was a previous spec as well. Let me close some of the things I have. And actually, let me see what earnings we have today. After close, nothing really important. It seems maybe a little bit more banks. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we have Delta, we have Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citi. A lot more banks tomorrow. I think the real day or the real week is going to be next week. I'm super excited. We have Netflix. We have Chipotle, we have Verizon. What else do we have? Snapchat, Intel, AT&T, Twitter. So we have big names coming out next week. I'm gonna be super busy. David Becker. um, David, agree, right? So David joined. I posted the Discord channel on the pinned comment. If you guys want to join, it's free. I post every time I buy. And like David said, every time I say I don't like a stock and it does well, everybody just gets on me. So we have a lot of great people on Discord channel. Feel free to join, guys. It's free. Like I said, nothing, no charge to you, and some great investors there. Just sharing ideas. Louis, no problem. All right, so let's take a look at NNDM. So Nano Dimensions. Let's start off with just the overall technicals. This one is one that has definitely seen quite a pullback. It's now kind of sitting next to a short-term and medium-term moving average. I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. A lot of volume here has kind of just been consolidating around this area. So first, technicals don't look too bad. If we take a look at the overall company, I also want to show you guys what they do. So this is one I enjoy a bit, even though it's not in my portfolio. I enjoy it. I am an electrical engineer. So I can see this is a 3D printer for like electric circuit boards. And for me, this is, I can see the market here, right? Because when I used to work at some of my jobs where I used to design some of these boards, when I would design a board and I would have to get it manufactured, it would take me about 4 to 6 weeks to get the board back, right? It has some crazy lead times. And the worst thing that happens is sometimes, like, I would have done, like, even after numerous extension of going over the board and everything, there's something that comes out wrong. There's a mistake somewhere, so then you would have to do another board and send it out after doing like your testing, and then you have another 4 to 6 weeks of wait time, and it just pushes projects back. Now with this, it's kind of a 3D printer where you can have it in a few hours or in a day or so. So I do see the market in here for sure. So I just wanted to show you. So Nano Dimension, future growth. They're still very early in business. There's not much. I believe their growth is going to be very strong. But if we take a look at their financial health, as of March 30th of 2021, they had about $1.4 billion in cash. That's insane. $1.4 billion in cash, no debt to their name. And this is the crazier part. They had $1.4 billion in cash, and they have a market cap of $1.8 billion. That's insane, right? So it's almost a one, not maybe like a 0.8 to 1 ratio of that. So they have $1.4 billion in cash and $1.8 billion in market cap. One thing I do want to say is, maybe they might have gave some press release or some information that they are planning on. Let's see, Nano Dimensions, nope. Hires, I wanted to see if they were spending that money on any big purchases. And so they did acquire, for example, Micromechanics, which was a 3D printing leader, and they also acquired Deep Cube. So who was it that was talking about this? Fabio. I think, was it Fabio? Was it Fabio? So Fabio, I want to say, right, that balance sheet right now is for March 30th, March 31st. These two acquisitions that they did on Nano Fabric and DeepCube were after that balance sheet. So you would I would think, I mean, for approximately 40 million in cash. It even wasn't that much. They still probably have a lot of cash. So that one was 40 million in cash. And how much was Nano? Nano was on out of and approximately 32 sorry. So they spent about 60-70 million dollars in cash. So they still have a very strong balance sheet. That's one thing that I was kind of worried that what were they spending the money on. So Fabio, I do think they still have a very strong balance sheet even after those acquisitions, but they are diluting their shares a lot because they did pay a lot of those deals, those mergers with shares, and I believe that's probably one of the main reasons stock price is down a nice amount. But overall, that balance sheet is insane. I don't think I've ever seen a company with $1.4 billion in their cash and short-term investments and the market cap of 1.8. ¿Qué pasa, vatos? What's going on, Pete? How's it going? All right, so Fabio, I hope that helped a bit. All right, I mean, it's insane. That is definitely insane. I wonder what's really happening. Why is it that kind of valuation? Are there any short-term reports on it? Any short reports on it, research on Nano Dimension that maybe some investors are really keeping an eye on? All right, so what's going on? Where were you looking at for earnings calendar? Oh, SB. So this is Twitter, and there's this person I follow, Earnings Whisper. To do Earnings Whisper, right? This is who I follow, right? If you go to their website, Twitter, I think Twitter is such a strong platform. They usually share the weekly earnings release. It's also on their website, but their website I'm not a huge fan of. So what's going on? So over here, Elias is asking, Fabio and Luis are from Brazil. Vamos investando pro futuro. I'm guessing let's go invest for the future. Something? Well, something around those words, right, Elias? So what else? What other stock do we have? I know someone mentioned one. Who was it? It was Peter. Peter wanted to take a look. Peter, are you still here? We'll take a look at LTCH. If Peter is still here. If not, what's going on, Stock Metal? What's going on, Fat Metal? How's it going? Good to see you, man. Hope everything's going good. If not, feel free to post another stock. I forget what ones we were talking about. So just let me know again, guys, on the comments. In the meantime, I just want to take a quick look at how the market is acting. Fabio, I'm not sure ending DM. They were holding sales until lockdown was over. I was afraid that harmed the sustainability. Oh, Fabio, I did see that, right? Because, I mean, sales were... All right, Peter, you're still here. Oh, is it stocks down? I don't even know. Sometimes I just reuse titles. Fat Metal. Man, I'm not used to your name yet. So Fat Metal, I still haven't. Sometimes I just reuse the titles. My portfolio is up 2%. I hope my portfolio is up. Let me see. Microsoft is up 2%. Let me see if I'm lucky like Fat Metal right now. Let me just log in. Elias, he is from Portugal. Let's see. One of my best friends is from Portugal too. I think that's my password. Let me just see. Vita Investor, what's going on? Hey bro, I'm buying more Tattoo Chef and Celsius today. Best of luck to you. Accounts. I'm actually up 0.77%. So obviously I am the greatest investor of all time with my 0.77% up. But I'm happy I'm in the green too. I'll take a quick look later on to see what positions are really building me up. Hey, AMD is now in the green. AMD just hit $91. Yep. But let's see. All right, so Microsoft is up 2%. That's probably also helping. So Peter, let's take a quick look at LTCH. First, let's start off with technicals. And remember, guys, this is just quick overview. It's not a full fundamentals. There's so much you guys can still do, like taking a quick look at investors presentations, looking at 10K reports, looking at short reports, if any. This is just a quick overview to kind of show, hey, things we should probably keep at least some eyes on. So Latch right now, first, it seems like this is a recent IPO. Maybe you can share a little information on it, Peter. Let me know what they do. But first thing, right, it's definitely been very volatile. Up, down, up, down. Right now, it's, I want to say, not overextended, so a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. Doesn't mean the stock can't continue to go down. Obviously, that's always the case. But I do believe a good portion has been eliminated. So Latch, they make space better places to live, work, and visit through a system of software, devices, and services in the United States. Future growth, they're expected to grow 52.3% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. So we can see they're making a revenue of about $21 million a year. They're expected to grow over time. They have a market cap of 1.7 billion. So this is very, very early on in its business for sure. If we take a look at cash flow from operations and earnings, they're not profitable in earnings. They're not positive in cash flow from operations right now. So right off the bat, who was it? Peter, right off the bat, this would kind of be what I would consider a speculative play, right? Speculative plays to me are just smaller based companies because it seems like they're still very early on in their business. And the company that I would consider early on is when they're not positive in earnings, they're not profitable in positive in cash flow from operations, right? So this is right off the bat something I would consider very early on in its business. One thing I'm not a fan of, and I don't know if this was a previous SPAC, if this is, but in their most recent earnings of March 30th of 2021, they had about $46 million in cash and about $62 million in debt. Right off the bat, I'm not a fan of the balance sheet. It doesn't mean it's bad, right? I don't know where the company is in, and I don't know if in the past few months they kind of made better, they've kind of paid off that debt and built up a cash position. But from the information of March 30th, I'm not liking it, right? I'm not liking their fundamentals. The only thing I find interesting about them is their future growth. And in form of technicals, their technicals aren't half bad either. They're not overextended. So personally, because I don't know the company or really what it is, just based on these two informations, and obviously that should not be it, right? I mean, there's so much more you can take a look at. Let's take a look at LTCH. I just want to see if they have a price to sales ratio. No, it's too early. It's still too early for. Was this a previous SPAC, Peter? Latch stock. They're making. I've actually looked at them. No, it's now. I just want to take a quick look. Latch OS. We make spaces better, places to live. So it was TSA previous Peter. Thank you. All right. So okay. First thing I want to say, Peter, thank you. It's important to know if they are a SPAC. I want to know when the overall merger completed. Because it all depends. If the merger, this is what's important about SPACs and about looking at things like Simply Wall Street. And let me just give this warning to anybody, right? Normally, if this, right, this is financial health as of March 30th. So as of March 30th, if the merger didn't complete yet, then this isn't the company's actual balance sheet, because after the merger is complete, they build up a good cash position. So that's something, Peter, that would investors would have to take a look at when that merger happened. If this merger was after March 30th, their balance sheet is probably a lot stronger, and because of that, then it wouldn't look half bad. But I think the major red flag for me is this balance sheet. So Peter, I do want to say, first thing is find out when that merger happened. If it was after March 30th, then it could pretty much be erased, this whole balance sheet at the moment. But at the moment, since it's a pre-SPAC, not too much information that I can provide on. So let's see. Oh, Stonk, for sure. I know you've been playing Tencent, right? Man, I'm not calling you Stonk. I'm calling you Fat Metal. Fat Metal. China's up nicely, so that plays a big part for me. Tencent I saw was up a good amount. I know JD was up a nice amount. Right, we have Tencent up. We have Tencent up 4%. You have JD up 5%. You have Huya up 3%. I wonder if Doju is up. What is Doju up to today? Is it still down? Doju is up 3.7%. I mean, so Peter, my apologies. I couldn't do much more into that, but we can see, right? Actually, it was a good day for me to do the video yesterday on both Huya and Dojo. So Twilio, SB, what do I think about Twilio? Twilio is probably one of the stocks I added on a lot during the overall correction of like March and May of this year. It's one I built up a nice position in, and I really do like it. So SB, at these prices, I mean, it might be weird. I don't know if it's because I already have a big position in it, or just because I'm just looking at the overall market. But at these levels, I want to say they're a bit overextended. Ooh, excuse me. It's a bit overextended, so I would rather wait for like maybe a price point at here. But obviously, the trend can continue to go. So if I had free trading, if I had free investing, and if I had some money, maybe open up a small position right now to keep a little track on it. But Twilio is one I really, really do enjoy. This is one, anytime it takes big dip, this is one I'm coming for sure. Twilio is one I enjoy. I've done a few videos on this one, SB, so feel free to check out my video catalog. Let me take a quick look at what some other ones want to take a look at. I know Presley wants to take a look at AbbVie stock, so we'll take a look at that. Let me just answer some questions. Elias Jr., yeah. AbbVie is a big pharma with like 5% dividend yield. That's pretty crazy. Elias, AbbVie is a stable one, right? Not sure if it's the kind of stock Jose follows. Hey, you guys know me a little bit too well. Vida, can you watch Kohu? We can take a look at that one. Let's see what's up. What about TTD? So TTD, I do think RM, the ad market, is one that's very undervalued right now, especially as streaming is still continuing to grow. Vida, we'll definitely take a look at Kohu. So we're gonna go with AbbVie next, and after AbbVie, we'll take a look at Kohu. And then maybe we can take a look at RM if he wants me to do quick thoughts on TTD. But right off the bat, the ad tech market is one I'm very, very bullish on. Very, very bullish on. I like a lot of companies in there. TTD is one I haven't really purchased in, just because I do believe it's a bit overextended right now, especially after that stock split. It definitely got heavily overextended. And after that recent news too about Google kind of pushing their sandbox initiative later, I've done a video on that, RM. But I like a little bit other plays right now. I think I enjoy Apps and Magnite a little bit better. So I would say they are a bit overextended. And yes, Stonk Beno, I agree, right? I would say more like the market. I think the market is undervalued, and it's a weird word. Maybe not undervalued on where the market is at right now, but undervalued in where I believe the market will be going in the future. Right? So that's I feel like sometimes that word undervalued it's just the wrong term to use it. More like undervalued based on the potential growth it can see, the ad tech market. But like you mentioned, there's sometimes some companies that are very heavy. I right now enjoy I enjoy Apps and Magnite a little bit more in the ad tech market. And I think I enjoy Digital Turbine Apps a little bit more right now, and that's what I'm trying to build up a position in. So thanks, Jose. Matt Franco and TMF both like LTCH. I see it as another Ring doorbell, but for unlocking doors, e-commerce, delivery, smart home plays. And that's why, I mean, I'm not, no plug here, right? I obviously won't get paid. I don't get paid for this. But that's why I enjoy like different services like the Motley Fool, right? It's articles and people all share opinions. And I don't ever want to put myself in the box. Just because I don't agree with someone, it doesn't mean they're wrong. They can be 100% right. And I think that's what every investor should try to understand, right? Just because you guys don't agree in a position, it doesn't mean that other person can be wrong. It just means it's not an investment position for you. So I think that's the great thing about investments. There's so many sectors out there. There's so many stocks that you don't have to follow what everybody likes. and you can buy what some people don't like, right? Some people tell me, hey, Jose, don't invest in Chinese stocks, but Niu, right? Niu has probably been one of my biggest winners in China. Tencent has been doing great returns for me. And I'm not ever going to try to force someone to buy Chinese stocks, right? If that's not your style, I obviously don't do it. But I don't think it's wise to ever tell people not to do something, because the market does its own thing. Does its own thing, right? And it's always coming in here with an open mind. All right, enough of the rant. Let's take a look at this stock I'm most likely gonna hate by Presley. Just kidding, Presley. I don't think I'm gonna hate it. Let's take a look at AbbVie. So AbbVie right now, huge company, right? $207 billion market cap, right? So we can see this is a big player right off the bat. You guys already told me about it, but when a company is that big, you're not expecting much growth, right? They're not expecting much revenue growth. But this is what do you get with a company like this? You get super positive earnings, and you get super positive in cash flow from operations. Like you mentioned, this is a very stable company. This is one you want to have once you maybe are, you believe, hey, I'm too growth heavy. Maybe let me focus on some more earnings or some more stable companies. You come to a company like AbbVie, right? You guys also mentioned they do have a dividend play. 4.42%. That is insane. I don't think I see many companies with, positive earnings, positive cash flow from operations, and paying this kind of dividend. Pretty impressive for sure. If we take a look at their financial health, a financial health like this, I would say I would really care less, because they were profitable in earnings and positive cash flow, right? So it's okay for them to be leveraged. They have about $10 billion in cash and about $85 billion in debt. They are heavily leveraged, right? But again, that's why it's good to understand where they're at fundamentally. This is a company. Think about it. Think about it in your own life. If you've had a consistent job for like 10 years and you have make money, if you're positive in cash flow from operations, it's okay for you to probably take out a mortgage, right? You're not gonna, because of that historical value, you're able to take out a mortgage and you're able to pay it off over time and be leveraged in debt. Pretty much that's how I see a company. If you've shown me in the past that, hey, you have strong earnings, strong positive cash flow, I don't really care too much if you're a bit leveraged. And that's what mainly happens with big mature companies. So fundamentally, they look good, right? Again, just right off the bat, not a stock I probably would buy in my portfolio. Maybe I might open up like a dividend portfolio, who knows? And this can probably make it there. I do want to say the stock price has definitely seen a nice rally. It is a bit overextended from its short-term moving average, and very overextended from its medium-term moving average. So there is a possibility of a downturn. At the same time, that downturn might not ever happen. I just believe the risk is a little bit higher, right? It's not a guaranteed, just that risk. So hopefully that shared my over. And let's take a quick look at Y charts. Let's do AbbVie here. What's the ticker? ABBB. Oops, that's not a financial metric. ABB. Ooh, and this is a profitable business. So here, instead of price to sales ratio, I want to take a look at EV to EBITDA ratio. And maybe let's take a look at price to earnings ratio as well. And let's take a look at panel per financial metric. Let's do max. Open image. I want to see how it's looking in financial metrics. So first, right, in forms of EV to EBITDA ratio and PE ratio, which are pretty much usually going to track the same way. You can see they pretty much kind of move in similar style. It doesn't tell me it's undervalued right now. It doesn't tell me it's overvalued. It just, I want to say, if we take a look at EV to EBITDA, it looks like it's averagely valued or properly valued. Same with AbbVie. With price to earnings, maybe a bit more overvalued than properly valued. Again, that's not a bad thing. It just tells me, hey, there might be a little bit more risk with the stock. Peter, you found CRNC through me. Great company. I agree. Very great. That's probably been one of my biggest winners as well. And it's actually, I found it thanks to someone. Let's take a quick look. Funny, let's go back through memory lane. Let's take a look at CRNC stock. Jose. I want to say I talked about this video a year ago. When it was 28, and nope, that's not it. Serens, where are you, Serens? So I talked about this in July 9th when this was at $40, and it was thanks to someone who man, I think I who was it? I forget who mentioned it. There was an investor that mentioned it to me. I think it was Usama, who gave me this stock. And this is why I enjoy the community, right? It does amazing. I get so many picks because of you guys, and they do amazing. But this is Seren's. It was $40 when I did this video July 9th. I wonder if that was my first video on it. No, I actually did it on January 5th of 2021. So at that point, what was the stock at? I was just, I'm sorry guys, I just want to go down memory lane. So when I talked about it, it was at $22 the first time I talked about Sorens, January 5th of 2020. And now this is sitting at $120. Oh, Usama. Yeah, it was Usama pick. Usama, shout out. I don't know if you're watching. If you do watch this live stream, thanks for this one. It's probably been one of my favorite winners right now. So it's great what I get to learn from you guys. And let's see, is there any stocks you guys want to take a look at? Let's see. Oh, Vida, I'm not gonna forget about you. Let's take a quick look at Kohu stock. So Kohu stock, what do they do? Ah, man, you guys are killing me. You guys put me to work for sure. So Kohu right now, from the 52-week high, the stock is down about 28.7%. So it's seen quite a correction. If we take a look at technicals, based on the charts I just saw, it's not overextended at all. It's sitting next to its moving average. I believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. If we take a look at fundamentals, let's see what we learn about Kohu. So Kohu is a semiconductor company. They do engages in the semiconductor test and inspection equipment and printed circuit boards in China to the United States. This is actually pretty interesting. Super small market cap. I don't know if you do this on purpose, Vita. You find companies I might enjoy. So this one seems pretty cool. Right off the alley is in the semiconductor industry, one of my favorite markets. They're expected to grow 5.8%, so not a heavy grower company. But that this chart shows otherwise. They're really expected to grow this upcoming year. They're positive. They achieve positive in earnings when taking a look at trailing 12 months, and they are positive in cash flow from operations. So right off the bat, very strong fundamentals. I like them a lot already. Vida, if we take a look at their financial health, $291 million in cash, $220 million in debt. I wish their balance sheet was a little bit better, but they are positive in earnings and positive in cash flow from operations. So I can kind of overlook it. I wish it was a little bit better. That's probably my only yellow flag, I want to say. Ownership of this, BlackRock and Vanguard. So the big funds already own a good portion. Regardless, what's going on, Beto Juice or Beto Jose, whichever. I'm pretty sure it's Beto Juice, but it'd be pretty cool if your name was Jose. I would like that. So right off the bat, I do like it, right? Vita fundamentals look pretty good. I wish the balance sheet was a little bit better. Maybe not the biggest growth stock right now, so that might be something a yellow flag. But nothing scary either. And fundamentally and technically, they don't look half bad either. SB, I think there was one more by someone else, and then maybe I can take a look at Lemonade. Lemonade is one I don't follow too much. SB, the overall insurance, I don't know what just happened there. I kind of had like a crack. The overall what is it, insurance business is a little tricky to really understand the financials of SB. So that's one I don't really follow too much. I've done a few videos about it. I'm just gonna take a quick look at technicals, but the financial metrics that are important to look at insurance companies is not one I follow too much. But I do believe the stock has definitely seen quite a correction in form of technicals, and a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. I don't think I can provide any more information, because if we take a look at their information here, it looks pretty scary, right? If you take a look at future growth, this is a company not profitable in earnings, not positive in cash flow from operations. But when looking at insurance companies, those are not the metrics you want to look at. You want to look at other metrics. So for that reason, I don't think I can really look at Lemonade because I just don't know what metrics to really follow. They do things like loss growth ratio. Loss growth ratio is an important metric for insurance companies, but they start to get a bit tricky. Whew. Beetlejuice, how do you feel about buying hosted space right now to hold on for next week or two? Also, my Beetlejuice, what's going on, Beetlejuice? Let me say, for me, I'm a long-term investor, so a week or two, that's not something I would do, right? I mean, a stock can be super volatile. Obviously, in 2 weeks, and RM, we'll take a quick look at TTD. Don't worry. Um, um, this is one that's very volatile, right? In 1 or 2 weeks, it can go any direction. So unfortunately, Beetlejuice, I don't think I can help you out there. Obviously, it's seen quite a correction. So sometimes when you see noise like that, it just kind of creates the rubber band effect. The rubber band effect. But at the same time, 1 or 2 weeks, that's almost a few minutes for me. Like when I think about investments, that's so short investment style for me that I can't really give any insight to it, Beetlejuice. But whatever you do, man, best of luck. I'm more of a long-term investor. As a long-term investor, I just want to say that's where I've gained a lot of my money. I've been in the market for 7, 8 years. I've tried everything from options play. I've done everything from day trading, from options trading, from swing trading, to everything. And the one that has really consecutively made money for me has been long-term investment. And I wish I would have learned that a lot earlier in my life. Maybe I would have been my account would have been like half a million by now, instead of where it's at right now. I definitely could have seen this growing a lot faster if I had that mentality a lot younger. But let's see, RM. Thanks, Jose. Let's take a look at TDD. So TTD, like I mentioned, right off the bat, I would say it's a bit overextended in forms of technicals. So there is a higher chance of the stock kind of pulling back. Doesn't mean it's gonna. If we take a look at fundamentals, they do look pretty good, right? $37 billion in market cap. They're expected to grow 23.8% on average. They're profitable in earnings. They're positive in cash flow from operations. They have a strong balance sheet of about $700 million, $680 million in cash and no debt. So fundamentally, RM, they are in a great place. Like someone was mentioning, I think it was Stonk Metal. If we take a look at TTD in forms of, that's not financial metrics, TTD. Let's take a quick look at this in form of, and let's also look at price to sales ratio. Price to sales ratio, and let's open the image in new tab. If we, so trade desk and Beetlejuice, right? That's the thing, right? I mean, I wouldn't say luck. I wouldn't say it's luck. There's always, and congratulations, you're 19. You're getting into the investment world, and I do believe that's the great thing about like the meme stocks right now. They're really bringing new young investors into the world, and it's showing them the power of investing. You might get a nice big winner. GME gave you a nice few thousand. So congratulations on that. But sometimes one thing you have to learn, even in investing and trading, is going to be risk and reward management. So the last thing you want to do is make $1,000 or a few thousand on a great thing like GameStop that happened for you, and then end up losing it all, right? But for long-term investments, I think starting off with like index funds and ETFs like the S&P 500 or some ETFs might be the best bet. And then just some big companies you enjoy. For example, I enjoy Nvidia a lot, or Google. Those are just ones I enjoy. There's so many. It depends. For me, intro investors, I would definitely try to push more boring index funds and ETFs instead. But Beetlejuice definitely great job at starting at such an early age. It's pretty impressive. You're only as good as your last trade. That's true, right, Peter? I mean, you can do good, and then if one of your trades you end up spending all your money and ends up being a bad one, then it doesn't really it can go pretty south. But here we're taking a look at RM trade desk, right? So we're taking a look at EV to EBITDA ratio right here. I want to say from all their ratios, it doesn't seem like the company is overvalued compared to where it's been in the past. It's definitely not undervalued either. It's a little bit in the normal. But when you take a look at 2020, it's obviously a lot higher. So there's still a chance of pullback. Again, it doesn't scream buy, but at the same time, RM, it doesn't scream sell, which I mean, I think that's a hold, I guess. So it doesn't scream one or the other right now. I think investors are just waiting to see more of how this company is going to go in the future, and it's probably just going to consolidate for some time until fundamentals catch up to it. I don't know. I'm not a trader. I mean, it's obviously there's investors that do it, Beetlejuice. I want to say most investors don't. I don't. I mean, doubling your equity would be amazing. If you can do that, you will probably be like a millionaire in no time. I want to say the chances, maybe 1 out of like every 1,000 person would be able to do that, if possible. I don't even think. I mean, especially in a consecutive 6-month basis, definitely not. I mean, I think if it was that, if that was the case, I mean, so many more people would be trading. Unfortunately, with trading, you hear about all these great people that have done it, right? There's people that have done it for sure. Let me not say it's impossible. You hear about this one person that has done it, Beetlejuice, but you don't hear about the hundreds and thousands of people that end up losing so much money trying. It's hard work, and just like anything in life, for trading, you have to study. You have to definitely put the work in it. I mean, at the same time, I'm more of an investor, so I can't say, but just like anything in life, you need to have work. If you think starting off in 3 months and you have become a pro, I'm pretty sure a lot of traders are gonna like tell you, hey, be careful, because you might get lucky in the first few months. You might even get lucky the first year, but eventually the luck does run out. And that's just not to scare you, just to share just overall thoughts of what I've seen through experience. So guys, it's already 11 o'clock. I have to go work on some videos. Thank you guys for the stream. Appreciate it. Feel free to join the Discord channel. It's free to anybody. I gotta go work on some videos. Everybody have a good day. I hope you guys enjoyed the type of information I provided today. Take care and see you next time.